It's Friday here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, and I am doing my weekly wrap-up here on Friday since I was working from home and at the bank doing really exciting stuff for the sanctuary yesterday. But I'm hoping everybody had a good week and you've enjoyed the live posts with Olivia and Judson. And, as with the weekly wrap-up, I always like to kind of go through what's happened during the week. But it is our 25th anniversary, and I also have a very special guest here with me today that's been around for the whole 25 years. Does anybody have a guess who the special guest might be today? Any guesses out there? And I have to tell Judson and Olivia not to type because they know exactly who my guest is today. Jenny's watching from upstairs, so I laughed. Jenny, you're upstairs working for the sanctuary for the next auction and watching the sanctuary while you're at the sanctuary. I love it. That's true dedication. People are asking Sally. Sally, good question. Sally does not get credit for knowing me the 25 years, but she's pretty close, I think at 18. Good guesses. Well, I'm going to turn this around and introduce you to someone. Oh, let me see. Really special to me. This is my mom. This is my mom, Susan Quist, and I know she had no idea I was doing this today. She has been with the sanctuary since I even thought of it. And I honestly have to say she's my biggest supporter, especially in the early years when no one thought what I was doing was normal. And it probably isn't normal, but she loved it. And so I'm going to ask my mom, Susan, a few questions. And I know she's really doesn't want to be on camera. So, Mom, we were talking a little bit before, and Katie asked you, did you know that I loved animals or that I would do something with animals?
Yes.
Yes?
Right away.
And why? What was I like as a kid?
Because you would be on the ground all the time, playing like you are a...
Oh, don't tell that story. My mom is trying to out me. You're so sweet. She's saying, don't cry. I love you. She's outing me because she's saying I used to not only take in animals, I would pretend I was an animal. And my sister remembers the story of me putting a blanket down with a head of lettuce in the middle of the hallway. Shelley remembers that. And I wouldn't use my arms, and I only used my head to eat, or my face to eat the head of lettuce because I was pretending I was a rabbit. You're supposed to tell how brilliant I was and smart I was. I'm just kidding.
Well, that's the truth, though. You have always loved them, and, taking it out and on all the stuff that you have to do to go through. When I come in and you'd have, in the first times.
Yeah.
You would say, there's stuff we've got to do. And I'll say, what do you have to do?
Well,
so you would ask me to take one of the animals, and so I love
you've animals as well. Yeah.
Well, so,
here comes Kiara. Let's not, because I know she'll want to jump up. So, can you go outside, sweetheart? I know. Yeah.
She was wanting it.
I know she wants it. I'll be right back. She can come in here. So, sorry, we're being disrupted by animals. Surprise, as we're talking about animals. So, Mom, you used to help with Jungle Boogie. Do you remember what Jungle Boogie was?
Yeah, with dancing.
It was, our big fundraiser, our dancing fundraiser.
Yeah.
Katie, what other stories were she just telling about, too?
What were we talking? Oh, how about the story about when you lived in the apartment?
We're not going to do that. We're talking about when I lived in Atlanta and I'd bring home rescued animals and put a sign on your bathroom door that do not enter wild animal in your bathroom. Things like that. And so over the years, you used to come to the events. So
I would.
Like, you're so wonderful. You tell everybody about the sanctuary. Like, what are a few of your memories? Do you coming to events or things over the years? You were just kind of sharing, and it's been 25 years that you helped build this place, Mom.
I just loved it as much as you did. And I thought that, it's the animals needed it too, to have, a place to be. And I was just so, because I was not that good, for a while. Of wonder how are we going to do all this?
Right. I mean, it was hard in the it was hard in the beginning, and you wrote a lot of checks when I didn't know how I was going to pay the heat bill or the furnace.
Yeah.
Have you ever been worried when, I've gone on rescues or anything like that?
All the time.
All the time.
Remember the one that was way out and you called me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Way out.
So.
Someplace, because I would lay on the night waiting for her to talk, because I didn't think she might be able to get back in someplace. So.
Yep, I'd usually call you, when I was out there, not tell you before, but do you remember, so what kind of kid was I like, or teenager?
Well, between you and Shelley.
My sister Shelley, yeah.
They were pretty out there.
We were out there?
They always wanted to be out, and they were always dancing and always singing and all that stuff too.
Yeah.
So they got that from me.
Well, Mom, I so appreciate your support, and it's fun to have you at the sanctuary today. We'll get to go see a few things, but for those that don't know my mom, she was a single mom. She raised me and my sister. You worked 2 to 3 jobs at a time. You never missed an event. You never missed anything. And when I started the sanctuary, everybody thought I was crazy. I was a college graduate.
I didn't think you'd make it either.
You didn't think I'd make it either, but
because it was so much.
it was it was really, really hard. Yeah, and it was very emotional hard, just as much as financially hard. And I just am lucky to have a mom that supported everything. And so you never second guessed me, at least to my face. Now I know that there was a little bit of worry, but you've always been supportive. When we needed a check, you helped me with a check. When I needed you to help me go pick up an animal, you picked up an animal. When I needed, I remember parking at your house even in Edina after a rescue with a starved cougar. And I had to sleep on the couch and look outside because we had to go to the emergency room right with that rescue in the morning. And she's like, "What are you doing?" But
it was in the car.
Yeah, it was in the van, in the crate. Yep, we had to check all the time. It's amazing.
Every
Yeah.
time say, they're okay.
I mean, how far we've come, right, Mom, to this place now.
Yes, for sure.
All right. Well, I love you very much, and I'm so proud of you. And I'm going to go do my live post with an update. So thank you for being a part of today's live post, Mom.
I love you so much.
Thank you. All right.
Great job.
That's my mom. And my mom's with me today. Can I share a little bit about you, or is that too personal? Okay.
Fine.
Well, my
Probably
mom.
no more than
My mom has Alzheimer's, and she's taking it in stride, and she's doing wonderful. And she was in assisted living today, and they went up to the casino near here, and my mom's not a casino person, either am I. So we decided to go pick her up and bring her to the sanctuary, and I'm going to drive her home tonight. So, but yes, it's when we celebrate the 25 years here, there'll be a lot more about my mom, my dad, my husband, my sister. Obviously, in the beginning years, this was all about family support, and now our family is much larger. It includes all of you, which is super wonderful. And the things you've helped us accomplish in the last week, you guys, I'm going to say it right. It's Zambuca, the serval, who had his wellness exam. I keep calling him Jahara. I know who he is in my heart. The wrong name comes out. But Zambuca got his wellness exam. He's doing great. Blood work looked great. And then Copper the Bobcat also got a wellness exam, and he's doing wonderfully and recovered well. We've had a lot of moves and mergers that we've been talking about, but now Aurora Caracal, Mojave, and Amir are fully merged, completely living together in the same habitat, sharing their rooms, sharing their space. It's just really heartwarming. Aurora Caracal lived with a Savannah cat when we rescued her years ago out of a home, and we tried her with servals, we tried her with Samson the Caracal, and she cohabitated, but she never was excited and never wanted to share indoor space. So to see her finally find her family is really, really awesome. So if you're a sponsored parent of one of the Caracals, you'll be getting updated photos and videos soon, and then we'll share them with the broader audience. Also, because we're moving cats around, the Caracal merger, the other one thing that was awesome is cats teach us things new all the time. We've been doing this for years. Elise has been doing this for years. They made every preparation to make sure that it was safe for the Caracals, that they had enough space, there was no dead ends. What we didn't expect is that when they went out into their habitat, Ava and the Peppers are next door, and Jalapeno, who's been the most social of the servals to humans, but totally fine with other cats, decided he wanted to eat all the Caracals next door. And so he was on the shared wall, hissing and really attentive and wanting to jump through the fence at the Caracals. And then when his family, Ava, came up, or somebody who would displace his aggression. So it was nothing super serious, but it was really out of character for Hal. So we put Jalapeno in his room, and now we have him on some kind of calming supplements and meds to get him used to having new neighbors, which is weird because Aurora was living next to him and didn't have any issues, but I think the three of them sparked a lot of interest. But as of today, everybody's doing well, no issues with the servals or Caracal groups, but it's just one of those things, you think you plan everything, and the cats will make their own decisions. So that's really exciting about that. We also, the staff moved Canada Lynx, Ripley, and Miko down to Bogart's old yard, which is by the Memorial Pavilion, and next to Buddy the Bobcat. And that was done because these two lynx are young. They need more space, things to do, and what was amazing is they were locked in overnight, so they know their safe zone in the holding yard and their bungalow, and then today they were given access to the full habitat. And it's just amazing to sit there and stop and realize that they were rescued from that horrible 8x10 kennel that was just mud filled. They had a dog loo and a broken water bowl, and that's it. Not a blade of grass, not a perch, not a ball, not a toy. And to think that this is the first time today we got to see them go out in grass with shrubs, with trees, with perches. It was pretty amazing. We all want to see them just run and play and say thank you, but this is about them being nervous and smelling other cats in territory. And Ripley was definitely the one that was much more outgoing. She ventured out right away, smelled everything, even saw Shadow across the way and Simon and Jeremy, and kind of perked up, but then just kind of moved around. Miko, the male, is a little more hesitant. He came out and was fine until he heard the tigers roar, and then he ran right back into that safe room that he'd been spending in, and then his girl followed, and they had been just kind of sitting in there kind of doing tiger TV watching for a few hours. So we'll watch them, but I think they're going to do great. And that allowed us to move Bobcat Bogart up to where they were in quarantine, which is next to new Bobcat Kaya. There's a little bit of a hallway in between, but we're hoping we can see how they are near each other and together. And so since the Caracals merged, that has opened a habitat up in Small Cat Track. So African Serval Thane, who is also in quarantine and rescued from the Michigan breeder that USDA shutdown, we'll get to move to small cat track. Then we can move Bogart and Kaya on a shared wall in quarantine and see if we can have a play date there. So all of these are baby steps, but they're great steps. And you know, with the Asian leopard cats merging and things like that, we're really, really thrilled to see that these family units and friendships are really blossoming. That's a huge help for us. So what else have we been busy doing? We talked about that we've been onboarding staff. They've been doing great, picking up stuff so well, and they're both, I would say all, even the interns and the lead intern and the caretakers and our animal care manager and operations director, they're just so passionate about animals. It's been really, really awesome to see. And so we reviewed for 2 hours. We sat upstairs with all the animal care staff and reviewed all the safety and animal care protocol again to make sure everybody was on the same page, to help make sure that if there's anything that's changed or needs to change out there, we're all on the same, making the same decisions, we're enforcing the same standard operating procedures, and that we keep safety priority number one and psychological well-being as a priority as well. So on top of that, the monthly Pride push is still going on, and I know so many people have asked, can I order that photo book, that tabletop book, coffee table book with those beautiful photos? Even employees are asking, and here's the answer. No. The answer is we want to encourage monthly Pride members, which is our bread and butter, our staple to keep the sanctuary open, that if you give as little as $10 a month, a reoccurring gift, you set it up on your bank account, credit card, you don't have to think about it again, but it is a huge impact here. 10 winners will win that one-of-a-kind coffee table book. And so definitely sign up if you really want that coffee table book. That's awesome. And then also we're doing some maintenance things. Roar Ridge is one of our first buildings we ever put here. And the drain pipe keeps breaking underground, which means we have to dig several feet underground, fix the pipe. We also have an issue with the tank and positioning, but right now we would have to tear out enclosures to fix it. So our facilities team have come up with a short-term solution, knowing in the next year or two we're going to have to really tear down enclosures and reset that septic up for Roar Ridge. So maintenance is never fun, but it's such an important thing of what we do. And then one of the bigger things too is I talked about that there was going to be news in the Uproar magazine that came. And first of all, I want to thank everybody for the outpouring support for the letter I wrote in the magazine about how hard sanctuary life is. Not for me, but for everybody that's in it. And I appreciate the call outs and the support. And I appreciate everybody saying that we need to do self-care for the staff. And that again is why when we ask for general operating or monthly Pride, it's so critical because we need to staff up. We have more caretakers than we've ever had before. We have more interns because we need to give people time off, especially when there's family issues. We don't want anybody ever miss something critical with their family that they need to be, and just self-care. And a lot of our caretakers are from out of state, so to visit family, they need to be gone for a week or so at a time. We want to be able to do that without having this bottleneck or hardship back at the sanctuary. And that on top of it is you're going to see us increasing benefits and increasing pay for our staff. We're never going to go astronomical, but we still feel strongly that vet techs, animal caregivers are always getting paid very little. And here's the thing is they are the front line of our mission. They're at the front line for safety. They're doing a lot of manual labor. We need to pay them as how we value them at the sanctuary, not just because industry has allowed us not to pay them well. And so when you look at our 990s or taxes, you're going to see an increase in all salaries. We want people to be able to make a livable wage. They don't need to sacrifice everything. They're already sacrificing their time, their nights to do overnight shifts, go on rescues. They don't need to sacrifice their livelihood too. They should be able to raise a family on what they get paid. They should be able to save for future savings. They should be able to buy a house, rent an apartment, pay for their vet bills. We want them to love their life here at the sanctuary, but love their life in general, because that makes them a better caregiver. And we need to support that, doing that. And we ask everybody else to support us in that way. It's just so many times I hear that, why is that person making that kind of money? They shouldn't. It should all go to the animals. The animals can only be cared for as well as the humans that care for them are cared for. So we're always going to be stewards of your dollars, but I really believe the steward of your dollars investing in the people, not just the animals we rescue. So I appreciate that. And then also that we announced CTio Town. So it's the first of its kind. Yes, people have done indoor-outdoor buildings for domestic cats before, but never has there been such a large rescue space for hybrid cats, the half wild, half domestic. And so we're really, really excited about this. We are looking for founding members right now. Those are kind of the bigger ticket donors that can help us kind of jumpstart this project, ensure that we have all the assets we need to break ground. And then we will be opening up a public campaign in the summer, which is for people, that $25 will mean a lot. And we're going to allow you to sponsor a square foot. So we want to know where we are now and what we need to do to finish that. But we are moving forward now and breaking ground. And so CTio Town is going to be awesome. They're indoor rooms, outdoor catios, temperature controlled areas for play dates. It is really going to cut down the maintenance, which is causing so much time suck from the care staff away from the animals. Also, things are dilapidated. When you are in Minnesota, cold, snow, freeze, ice, those sheds that we turn into houses just don't stay as long as we'd like. And the ones that are there, some I brought from the last facility. So some are 19-year-old sheds that have had tremendous amount of ice on them, but more so tremendous amount of cat urine sprayed in them. And so this will allow us to be more efficient, spend more time with the animals, give them dynamic space year round since we have such cold winters. So we're really, really excited about it. We're so excited that we can get you excited about it because a lot of people want to, help the tigers and the lions, but the smaller cats can be hard to fundraise for. And my heart is full because all of you feel the same way that small cats deserve just as much love as the big cats. So excited about all the projects to come. Stay tuned when we break spring and summer. It is going to be a year of construction and a year of awesomeness for the cats, and you guys make it all possible. So again, I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you next week on the weekly wrap-up here at the Wildcat Sanctuary.